com.
Today's news.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Monica Riggs. Donald Trump slamming his criminal case in New York following the first full day of deliberations.
Among the considerations could not be these charges. These charges are rigged. The whole thing is rigged.
In fact, jurors seemingly avoided eye contact with the former president after making 2 requests today. CBS's Matt Piper has details.
It was just before 3 p.m. when the jury sent a note to the judge saying they wanted portions of transcripts read back to them of testimony from Michael Cohen and David Pecker. They also want to rehear the judge's instructions in the case. The judge says he will go over it all first thing in the morning.
The White House says President Biden wasn't paying attention to Trump's trial today, but he did talk about him while campaigning in Philly.
It's clear that when he lost in 2020, something literally snapped in his car. No, I'm serious. That's why January 6th happened, when he unleashed an insurrection. Now, he's running again, and he's clearly unhinged.
Biden's event in Philly is part of a bigger effort to win back support from black voters. He says Trump's peddling a racist agenda. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito has refused to recuse himself from January 6 cases following a second flag scandal. CBS's Jan Crawford.
In a letter today to Democrats, Justice Alito says there's no reason for him to recuse himself and that flying flags was his wife's doing, something the couple has maintained since the first flag was discovered about 3 years ago.
The #1 golfer in the world's off the hook now in Kentucky.
Scotty Scheffler was facing 4 charges after a traffic incident with a police detective outside the PGA Championship in Louisville, May 17th. Jefferson County, Kentucky prosecutor Mike O'Connell.
Based upon the totality of the evidence, my office cannot move forward in the prosecution of the charges filed against Mr. Scheffler.
Jim Crusilda, CBS News.
Secretary of State Anthony Blinken weighed in on Israel today and its deadly weekend attack in Rafah.
Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says the U.S. is waiting for the Israeli investigation into the incident.
I can't tell you what weapons were used or how they were used.
But he said it highlights U.S. concerns about civilian casualties in Gaza.
That's CBS's Cammy McCormick. The panda party's back on in D.C. China says it'll send 2 giant pandas to Washington's National Zoo later this year. And officials in Edinburgh, Scotland are now kicking out their homeless to prepare for a flood of Swifties next week. The city's required to accommodate the unhoused, but with a shortage of hotel space, they're now shuttling people to nearby cities for temporary stays. This is CBS News.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dashcam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 76 degrees in Alameda, California.